Hey guys, Chauncey Phillips here, the brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shop video today. Taking a go out today, see if things came out today, see if things are on sale. Now today though, new release-wise, some of the bigger things that were coming out today was the film Nobody. That was coming out today. Also the film Batman. It was a new DC animated movie. It was, I believe it's Batman, The Long Halloween Part 1. That's coming out today as well. Also the film the Unholy. That was releasing today too. Also though, at the end of this video, I'm going to have a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews for some things I received to review and talk about for you guys. So some really, really cool stuff. So definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And as always too, let me know what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that I reviewed. If you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them, and also if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But anyway though guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. And I also want to let you guys know some really cool, really exciting news. I just got cast in the upcoming horror film, Camp of Terror. I'm also going to be one of the producers on the film as well, and I am so excited about this one. I absolutely cannot wait to do this film. It's going to be a summer camp slasher film, and it's going to be in the style of films like, you know, The Burning and Sleepaway Camp. It's going to be a film in a similar kind of vibe and everything, which I cannot wait. I absolutely love, you know, summer camp slasher films, so really, really excited about this one. And it's going to be directed by Tom Walton, who I just finished working with. He was one of the head producers on the film which I directed, called, you know, Scream Bloody Murder, and I worked with him and had a great time. And he just finished directing the film Room 9, which is going to be coming out to DVD and video on demand from Lionsgate July 20th. So I cannot wait to see that one. It's, you know, that movie stars Scout Taylor Compton, and it has you know, Kane Hodder and Michael Berryman in it. Like I said, that's for Room 9. So, and he's going to be directing Camp of Terror. So really excited, like I said, about this film. Also, Jared Safir is going to be, you know, producing the film as well, and he was the head producer, along with Tom Walton on Scream Bloody Murder as well. So really look forward to working with, you know, both of them as well on the film. But the movie has an Indiegogo campaign going on right now for it, and there's a whole bunch of different like perks on there with ways you guys can help out the project. Like there's special thanks credits, producer credits, there's credits to act in the film. There's also credits where you guys can be like a vlogger or a newscaster, and those are things where you guys can, you know, self-film the scenes and like send the footage in and stuff like that. But like I said, really excited about this one. Also a pre-order for the Blu-ray, so definitely check out the link, guys. Thanks again for, you know, for all the support and everything, but this is one I'm definitely really excited about. And like I said, thanks again for the support, and check out the link below and you guys can find out all about, you know, the film and everything. So let's take a look over here though and see if there's anything new here in the front. And you know, they changed this out like last week though, like, and put some newer stuff like Godzilla, you know, versus Kong. They have in here they tell you some of these things when you take them out, it's like impossible to put them back and everything, but it's so weird. You know, you see the spots for the new releases for today, like Batman, you know, Long Halloween and Nobody, and it says like the Long Halloween one is $22.99, and then it's $24.99 for the Blu-ray of Nobody, but it's the wrong things in the spot, so they didn't change these things out, so like the curves in the spot. Let's see anything else different here. We'll have to look over in the actual section though to see if they put any of them over there or not. Because other than that though, those are the main big things today. Like I was mentioning, that were coming out, but we'll go over there to see if there's anything. And then randomly, they do every so often change this out, because they randomly now put the Ferris Bueller's Day Off Steelbook over here. So every so often it kind of changes out. So it's like can be the same things for a long time, but then every so often they put a couple different things in here. So this is one of the newer ones they have over here. But now though, we're head though over to the actual section though to see anything different they have over there though. And fingers crossed, hopefully they have some of the new stuff out over there now. Yeah, in there today though, it was kind of like the day that forgot movies. Like there was like none of the stuff was changed out. Like they had all the stuff in the spots. Like they had like one for like the Umbrella Academy. I think Complete First Season was one of the other things today. And they had the spots for it. They had the spot for the Unholy, but you know, none of the stuff, you know, was out or anything like that. It's not, normally it's not like that in there. Normally, you know, in Target, it's just like the stuff's just not out at all and there's nothing changed. And the section is like not usually changed out like that. That's usually like Walmart's thing, you know, when you see the spot and it has like the movie title and then there's nothing's put there. That's like Walmart's trick. So like maybe today, Walmart will like change up and then they'll have all the stuff out, since Target did, you know, what Walmart's been doing all the time lately. We'll see, you know, fingers crossed. Hopefully they have some stuff. At least, you know, there was a handful of things the last like 2 weeks that I haven't seen out in Walmart that like the stores have yet to put out in my area. So maybe they'll have some of the other things there too, that, like I said, that I didn't get to show the last couple weeks and stuff, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully there's something, you know, something new out there today, but we shall see though. Into Walmart we go. But yeah, though, like I was saying, though, fingers crossed, hopefully they'll have out some of the stuff today. I don't know, though, you know, it's like been lately in here, like I've been noticing in this particular location, it seems like they get stuff in sometimes like the following week. It might be out by then, but not always. Like that was kind of what I thought was going on, but then sometimes like they don't change it out at all. These are kind of like my shirts here, but like if they had the pocket, you know what I mean? It's kind of like a whole thing of like cooler sort of type shirts, but no pocket. You know, I don't know. We'll see though. I haven't peeked yet, so let's see. We'll peek together. I'll wait. We'll do it live and see. We can be disappointed together if there's nothing there. So let's see. All right, so we're gonna head back, and I feel like disappointment's coming because I'm seeing a lot of empty. See, you guys can see there's a lot of empty over here. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if these empties, yeah, all the empties was stuff for today, because it's, you can see, it says nobody 4K 27.96, nobody Blu-ray 22.96, the DVD was 17.96, and then you know, Batman The Long Halloween 19.96 for the Blu-ray, 14.96 for the DVD, and then the Unholy Blu-ray was 19.96, and then 17.96 for the DVD. There's some other ones down here like Paper Tigers. These ones here, the Blu-rays 14.96, 12.96 for the DVD. I don't know what these are. Moto Pups. I think Voyagers was last week. I believe so. Let's see if on the other side there's anything just like randomly over here that I haven't seen. But no, I don't recall seeing. I don't feel like there's anything different over here. But yeah, though, looking over here, though, I see a couple different things I hadn't seen out in the past couple weeks in here. Like I saw over here, though, I saw Sorority House here for $9.96. That was one of the other ones. And you see the spots here for some of the other things that were today, like Georgetown for the DVD for $12.96, Siberia, the DVD for $12.96. Something called the Hunter. That was one of the other ones. Umbrella Academy Season 1 for $22.96. I believe that's for the DVD, I believe. And there's a thing called Fear there. I think that's called Fear. It looks, it's kind of cut off there. It's either Fear or Ear for $9.96. I'm pretty sure it's Fear. Other than that, though, I don't see anything else different here. You always have to check down here, too, just to make sure there's anything randomly not mixed in or anything like that. But no, I don't see anything else different. But yeah, it's one of those days when, you know, none of the stuff was put out today. So hopefully, it's definitely fingers crossed that they have, you know, the stuff out at Best Buy today, because otherwise there's like, I saw none of the new releases at all out, you know, anywhere. I did notice when I was walking by this last one, there's a bunch of new things, you know, in here, you know, stuff that Boar, and I don't know, I just noticed a couple different ones kind of mixed in. So they do occasionally put stuff in these. It's not always like the same stuff, because back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember these $5 bins, like in the very beginning, there was stuff that you always saw in here that were like, it would always be, I think it was Spice World was one of those movies. I remember always seeing in here, in the early days, Godzilla, the Godzilla one from the 90s, late 90s one, or I think it was 97 maybe, or 98, that one was in there. And then I feel like they might have had Drop Dead Fred was one of the other ones that you saw a lot, and that one ended up becoming an out-of-print one. But I feel like I remember seeing that. But let me know, guys, in the comments below what you remember in the $5 bins, like in the early days, you know, seeing all the time. Into Best Buy we go. Yeah, but you know, fingers crossed. Hopefully they have something out in here today, because if they don't, it's like literally there's like, I've not seen anything. So if that happens, I'm definitely going to have to like head to some other store or something so I can see, you know, see something new today. But they usually have the stuff out, but today, maybe today's gonna be like that weird day when it's like, nope, like literally nowhere will have the stuff out, but we'll see. So yeah, let's head over here now and see if anything new is out. Like I said, I hope there's something out today, and it's not like a day when we don't see anything new at all. Well, no, I'm seeing stuff. So at least I see some stuff that's empty. This is like stuff from last week, like Godzilla that sold out. The Ferris Bueller one, this is the one that they had at Target. But no, they do have Nobody. So at least we saw somewhere that had today. So the, and I really like this one. I'm going to be talking about this at the end of this video. It's $22.99 for the Blu-ray, and then $29.99 for the 4K edition of that one. And then Batman The Long Halloween, that one, you know, it's part 1. That one is on $19.99 for that one. There's also like something here. What is this? Batman The Long Halloween part 1. Oh, there's a Steelbook. So the Steelbook sold out. I didn't even know they were having a Steelbook for that one. That's cool. Let's see if I can see some pictures online for that one. Let's see the other side. Anything else different over here? No, so they are having all this stuff, and they also have the non-Steelbook version
version of Last Action Hero. I like the Steelbook one, but I really did want to get the, you know, a 4K version of this, so I think I might get this one for $22.99. And then I don't really get tons and tons of Steelbooks, so this is one I just wanted to get a, you know, upgrade to 4K, because I always loved this movie as a kid. I watched this movie so many times, you know, back in the day. But like I was saying, one of the other things today was the Unholy, and that one is $19.99 for that one. There's some empty spots here. These are like Steelbooks. I think these are from a couple weeks back, like Indiana Jones Steelbook, the Pretty in Pink one there. This was last Tuesday, the Sicario one. Let's see, what is that? There's Sting. Other than that, though, I don't see anything else different here. Though, let's see over here in the section itself. Let's see if anything else different was today. The Father, these were all a couple weeks back. Anything for Jackson, that was last Tuesday. Same with Kindred, and same with SAS. Gattaca was last Tuesday. Trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, all the ones so far here were the last couple weeks. Let's see if any of these were this week. No, Unhealer, that was a couple weeks back. I don't think that Hunter, I don't think, maybe this could have been, now these ones, no, I don't think those were today. Paper Tigers, I don't know. I know Siberia, this one was today for sure for $14.99. Other than that, though, that was today, I don't see anything else here. No, I don't see anything else here. That seems to be all the main different things. But at least today, though, they did have some of the stuff out, because then it would have been like literally going everywhere today and had no luck finding anything at all, though.
Yeah, so in there, though, I ended up getting that Last Action Hero 4K. Like I said, I always like this one. I have, like, this, you know, the Blu-ray up in the background and all the reviews and stuff. You always see the guys see in the background. And people say, oh, that's the Steelbook one. No, that's the Mill Creek one from a couple years back that has, like, the VHS-style slipcover to it. But no, I'm sure, like, I'll be, like, in Best Buy, like, next week or something, and then the Steelbook will be, like, randomly out there. And for some reason, too, it has a sticker right here on the front, but this is one of those ones that I feel like would have had a slipcover to it, but I guess that they didn't do one for this one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was like would have had one too, or they didn't have it on it, but I don't know for sure. Let me know if you guys got this one, if it did. Some of them had slip covers, because, you know, with some releases, sometimes the stores like don't have the slip covers. The one that was always the big on that, you know, with not having the slip covers, and it's still pretty much the same way as Barnes & Noble, because I think they like throw them away or something like that for all the releases, or at least they did. But you know, but other than that, though, that's all for the DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. And like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also, though, in the comments below, though, let me know anything new that you guys picked up on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K. If you guys, you know, ended up picking up anything new today. Also, as well, let me know anything new that you guys have been watching on streaming lately, or anything new that you guys saw in the theaters, or any new TV shows you're watching, anything like that as well. And be sure too, as well, to let me know what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that I reviewed at the end of this video. And also too, check out the Indiegogo link below for Camper Terror, and you guys can find out all about the project, the one that I'm going to be acting in, which, like I said, really excited about that one. Anyway, though, guys, thanks again for watching and subscribing. Now stay tuned for the brand new reviews. And the first one I got here is from Shout Factory Scream Factory line. This one is also from IFC Midnight. It's a movie here called Kindred. This is a really cool, really creepy film. It's basically, though, about this couple, you know, that are married and everything, and they're going to see the one's, you know, parents, and I think they, like, live nearby and stuff like that, and they kind of go and visit and everything, and, you know, it's basically the husband's, you know, mother and everything, and she's, like, really kind of weird, and they kind of tell how they're getting ready to move, and they're going to, like, what, I can't remember where they were going to, but they were going to be going to another, you know, country. I think it was Australia they were moving to, and then the mother was like saying to the son, and said, "Wow, how can you be moving away?" Because she found out too that she was pregnant, that you know, the son's wife, you know, was pregnant and everything. So they're kind of going, "Why are you leaving? How can you be going?" All this kind of stuff. And basically, what ends up happening though is, you know, this is like right afterwards. There's something ends up happening, and the husband ends up dying, and then she ends up, you know, having to stay at this house, the wife, you know, with the mother-in-law and everything. It's this whole big thing, and it's like really weird too, because the second she gets there too and has to move into this house while she's pregnant and stuff, like weird sort of things start to happen. She starts to kind of, like, the one's mother, you know, was acting really strange to her, and then she starts having these visions in there, and so it's like a whole lot of really weird stuff going on. It's very creepy, really cool film. It has on here, though, feature-wise, has a comedy track on here with the director, as well as a trailer on this one. The next one here, this is from Universal, and this is a 4K Ultra HD edition, which includes the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital copy of the film. This is a movie here called Nobody. I almost said John Wick because it says from the writer of John Wick, but it's called Nobody. And this is a really cool movie. You know, this, you know, stars, you know, you know, this is, why do I always, Bob Odenkirk, why do I always blank out Bob Odenkirk's name? But it stars Bob Odenkirk, and I thought he did a great job, like, in this role and everything. It's very, you know, it's very similar kind of feel to John Wick with the movie, with the vibe of this film and everything, and it's basically, though, about Bob Odenkirk's character, and, like, in the beginning of the movie, there ends up being this home invasion, and, like, they end up, like, they're robbing the house and everything, and then the one of the robbers pulls a gun on the Bob Odenkirk's character's son, and, like, he ends up, like, Bob Odenkirk has this bat, and he's about to hit him over the head, and he doesn't do anything. He gets, like, kind of scared, doesn't do anything. The son is like, whoa, why'd you do nothing? You know what I mean? Like, why you just sort of stood there and did nothing, and this guy had a gun to me and everything, and so it was a thing like this. So the son was kind of looking down at him for doing nothing, and, like, even the whole family was kind of, like, looking like he really didn't do a whole lot and everything, but he had this sort of look on his face, like, you know, Bob Odenkirk's character, like he wanted to do something. And essentially what ends up going on in the movie is that he ends up going, and because of this, because his family and especially his son looks down at him for not doing anything, he ends up, you know, kind of getting to the point where he's not happy that he didn't do anything, and he's, like, regretting this. And then he finds out that the one daughter's bracelet is gone missing too. When the people stole some money and stuff, they stole, like, the bracelet came along with it by mistake, and he's, like, wants to get it back. So basically Bob Odenkirk's character finds these people that stole the money, and then ends up going and doing something very drastic, and a very bad thing happens, and then people come after Bob Odenkirk's character, and it becomes a total nightmare. But it is a great movie. Christopher Lloyd is in the movie as well, playing Bob Odenkirk's character's father, and he's great in the film. I was so glad to see him in the movie. I thought he did a really, really good job. This is one, like I said, I would highly recommend you guys check this out, especially if you guys are a fan of John Wick. It has that similar kind of feel, the whole vibe, the way it's shot and everything like that, the intensity, because, like, if you guys know John Wick movies, they always have these really intense fight scenes, and this one as well has some really, really intense fight scenes and everything. And on here, though, feature-wise, this has some featurettes on there as well. It has it has deleted scenes or the features on there, as well as some featurette and then feature commentaries as well. But 4K wise as well, this one looks great here on 4K. So if you guys have 4K capacities, would definitely recommend the 4K version of the film. But like I said, highly recommend this one. If you guys have seen this one too, let me know what you guys thought. The next one here is from Universal as well. This is a really good movie here. This is from director Eddie Huang, who was the creator of I believe it was Fresh Off the Boat he was a creator of. And this is a movie here called Boogie. And this is basically, though, about this kid who's really into, you know, basketball, and really is, you know, trying to make that a career, and kind of, you know, trying to, you know, really do this. And it's basically one of those kind of things where he's trying to, you know, get, you know, hopes of getting into the NBA and stuff like that. But yet his family isn't really supportive of it. And it's kind of like they want him to pursue more education and stuff like that. And they're kind of giving him, you know, kickback about what he wants to do, and this is his dream, and this is what he wants to pursue, and it's pretty much just about him going and doing kind of like these basketball games, and kind of going up in the ranks of the basketball games that he's doing in his neighborhood and stuff like that. But it's a really, really well-made character piece film here. This one has some featurettes on here. Eddie Huang, it's personal on here. You know, shout out to Pop Smoke on here. In theater trailer as well on this one here as well. The next one here is from Warner Brothers, and they sent over a free copy of this one to let you guys know that this one is available. This is the new DC Universe movie, Batman: The Long Haul. Not The Long Haul, The Long Halloween, Part 1. That's the one thing about dyslexia. Sometimes you, like, say something and you're like, why am I saying that? And because you see, that's the thing with dyslexia. You see the first part of the word and then you start, I don't know why you do that. But basically it's Batman: The Long Haul Part 1. And this is basically, though, this is a cool one because it's like some of the villains and like the mob and the bad characters and stuff in the Batman universe and everything. And this one's set like in the Dark Knight universe, because it's like with like I don't know. I think it's like in the universe of like the Dark Knight, that kind of because you know there's a lot of different versions of Batman and stuff like that. And I think this one is in that universe. And it's basically though about like someone is going around and killing these people and putting like these pumpkins as like the calling card and everything. It's kind of like Batman is like teaming up with the Commissioner Gordon and Harvey Dent, and that's why I said it was kind of like in the Dark Knight. And it's basically them teaming up to try and get to the bottom of this whole thing and everything. But I thought this was actually a really cool one, and I think the second part comes out like in a month or two of this one, I believe. And on here though, this has DC Showcase shorts, The Losers, the legendary ragtag team of World War II outcasts find themselves marooned on an uncharted island, the South Pacific overrun by dinosaurs. It also has on here a sneak peek of the next DC Universe film, the one I was mentioning, Batman: the Long Halloween Part 2. It also has 2 DC Vault cartoons as well, so 2 bonus DC cartoons on this one as well. Also, too, I wanted to make sure to show you guys, Warner Bros. Sent over this really cool promotional item as well for Batman the Long Halloween, and it says on here, you know, comes the digital and Blu-ray the June 22nd for Part 1, and Part 2 comes the digital the 27th of July, and then Blu-ray, you know, August 10th. But this is like a calendar in here, and it has like, you know, Father's Day on here, the 20th, and it has like some quotes and stuff like that, like from the characters, like voice character stuff, you know, picture for the movie. You see like a quote from Harvey Dent here. So all this kind of stuff, images, pictures, and stuff like that. So kind of a cool promotional item that they sent over of calendar with all these different pictures and stuff like that. The next one here is from Sony. This is a movie here which is from producer Sam Raimi called The Unholy. And this one stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in the film, and William Sadler has a really good role in this movie as well. You know, I always think of William Sadler as, you know, Death from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey and Bill and Ted Face the Music. But he's been in tons and tons of stuff. But that's like, to me, this is growing up with Bill and Ted. That's what I always think of him from, but he's in tons of stuff. Always been a huge fan of him. So really cool, always loved seeing him and stuff, and he was great in this movie. And it's basically, though, about Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, who kind of like writes for something, I guess sort of like a National Enquirer kind of thing, and like he goes to do like a story on like something that had happened to like this crop and like the animals at this farm and everything, so he kind of goes there to talk to the owner about something that happened to the cows getting killed and all this kind of stuff, and he basically is talking to them, and then he ends up finding like this weird like bottle, and inside of it like there was like, no, he finds this like weird like doll. There was a doll in a bottle or not, but I know it was like this doll, and because in the beginning of the movie you see like in the same farm somebody was like sacrificed there, this like woman that was like a witch or some kind of a demon or something, and then like the soul was trapped in this glass porcelain doll. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character finds this doll when he's kind of looking at the farm, and then he like kind of goes, oh yeah, these are supposed to collect the souls or something, and he steps on it, and of course that lets this entity out. So basically everybody now, right after this has happened, are starting to see weird sort of things there. And this one girl who was deaf and could not talk and never had heard or anything, all of a sudden she has the gift of being able to hear and talk. And it's kind of like, and she's saying how like this woman is there and she's seeing things, and that she's seeing visions and everything. And of course, you notice in the very, very beginning of the movie that it's not a good thing. And it's kind of like it goes in these terrible directions. Very, very creepy movie. There's some really, really creepy, aspects of this movie, here as well. But definitely the one I would recommend you guys check out. Like I said, this one here is called The Unholy. And the next one I got here is from Paramount, and this is a really, really cool collection, and I'm so glad to have the whole series together like this, because I only have, like, I think, like, maybe, like, the first and second season of the show. I don't have all the seasons of this, so it was really cool to have this, and when you think about it, it's hard to believe that this show started in 1991. Like, it's just hard to believe. It was, like, I remember this when this was on. I remember this show premiered. I remember, like, watching, Pee-wee's Playhouse at the same time. This is the same time this show was on. It was Ren and Stimpy, so it was kind of like the golden age of like TV and all these things that I loved as a kid. And this is, like I said, this is the complete series here of Rugrats. Like I said, it's just hard to believe that this was 1991 that this show had started. And this is, if you guys have never seen Rugrats, it's one of those things I feel like everyone has to have at least seen it once in their life, or the movies or something. But if you haven't seen it, it's basically, though, about the character of Tommy Pickles, Phil and Lil, and Chucky, and, Angelica, and Susie. And it's basically they're babies, and they're basically just friends. And it's basically just them going on adventures and kind of having, like, their imaginary adventures and crazy stuff. Like, I really watched it because it went till 96, so I didn't watch the later ones. So I watched, like, up until like 90, probably 8. I think around when like the Rugrats movie came out. It was probably around when I watched it. So probably around 98, 97, 98. So around that period of time. So I watched the really early ones. So the ones that I always remember, like my personal favorite was the one with Tommy Pickles going to the toy store, because that always reminded me of a toy store that I loved as a kid that closed down, or probably like 94, and it was like children's Place or Children's Palace or something like that. And it was like a toy store that was, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a toy store that was just like a medieval kind of place. And it might have been a chain. I know one of them was like in Pennsylvania I used to go to as a kid. Was it Toy Palace or Children's Palace or something like that, where it was like or Toy Castle, or I don't know, I wish I could remember the exact name of it, but it was like a toy store that looked like a medieval kind of castle. They had like castle theming inside, and I think that the episode in the toy store of Rugrats was based on that place. I'm pretty sure about that, so that's why I always liked it too, because it reminded me of that, that toy store that I used to love as a kid. But like I said, this is the complete, all the seasons of the show from 1991 to 96. It's a 26 disc set, all 9 seasons of the show. It also has on here special features: Runaway Reptar, All Growed Up, Babies in Toyland, Tales from the Crib, Jack and the Beanstalk. And here's a look though inside too. So here's how the discs are in here. So it's like seasons. So it kind of folds out like this, and they're kind of, I think it's like double discs on top of each other on here. But like I said, really glad to have the whole collection. And I really didn't see, like I said, a lot of the later ones. So I'll have to go and like see some of the later episodes of that show, because I did not see probably any of the ones from like after maybe 2000, like after whatever, like I think the second Rugrats movie was probably when I saw the last ones. The next one here, this one is also from Paramount as well. This is a movie here called Georgetown, and this is basically though about Christoph Waltz character, and he's one of those kind of guys that like is always kind of like scheming things and kind of up to no good and kind of planning things and kind of, he's one of those people. It's always kind of changing what he's doing, and he ends up marrying this woman who's a much older woman, and it's kind of like, something ends up happening to her. And, she ends up dying. It's just like early on in the movie. And it's basically, though, he's kind of being investigated and looked as if he might have had something to do with this. And it's Annette Bening plays her daughter. That, it's kind of like this whole thing about what exactly is going on. And then you kind of find out more about Christoph Waltz's character. And Christoph Waltz directed the movie as well. I thought he did a great job directing this movie. But it's a really interesting character piece, though, about this guy. It's just one of those kind of people that is always kind of up to something and always kind of like scheming things and his next thing. And he's always got another idea and all these type of things, and he kind of mooches off of people to use them for things and that kind of stuff. But it was a really interesting movie. Like I said, this one here is called Georgetown. The next ones here are both from Vinegar Syndrome, and this is a really cool release, and hopefully they continue on with this line, because I absolutely love like TV movies. Like, one of my favorite TV movies ever, as I've talked about a million times, is the one called Bad Ronald. Like, that is one of my absolute favorite TV movies of all time. And then I really love Crawl Space, not the one with Klaus Kinski. There was one in the 70s, which was a TV movie, which is really rare, and if you guys ever find the DVD of it, it's like probably one of the top rare things you're come across, like that and Camp Cucamonga. Hopefully, Vinegar Syndrome, Crawl Space, that would be a TV movie if you do a second volume, which I'd absolutely love, in here. Crawl Space volume 2 of this, if you can get that. But basically, though, this is called Televised Terror, and this is all TV movies, so it's 3 different TV movies on here, and one of them is like Elijah Wood's first ever movie. So this is like right around the time I think that he probably I think he probably must have shot this at the same time he shot his small part in Back to the Future 2. If you guys remember, he was the one who had like the game that they're playing in there. So I think it was probably right around the same time that he shot that. But this on here, it's in a really cool case here. Has all the names of the movies and everything on here, and opens up like this. And then inside, it has the color thing on there for like testing the test pattern on here. I'm watching you, please stand by. And inside here though, it has 3 different movies. It has Calendar Girl Murders, and this one was from 1984, and this one starred who is that? This had Alan Thicke in the movie, and this is, on here feature-wise, this has extended audio essay by film historians Amanda Reyes and Sam Pancake. And on this one, it's newly restored and 2K from its original 35mm camera negative. The one I was talking about that had Elijah Wood was this one called Child in the Night, and this is an interesting movie. This had this also had who else was in here? It was Tom Skerritt, you know, and this is right around the same time too that he did Poison Ivy. So it was like kind of like right. This is the movies that are all kind of like right around before things. So this is definitely right around the time of Poison Ivy. And this is or maybe Poison Ivy was 93 or something. I can't remember for sure, but around the same era of that. But this is basically though about Elijah Wood's character is with his father and at this boat dock, and he ends up seeing his father, like someone throws a brick through the window or something. And I'm gonna bring up another story. I remember, like, you know, because like someone throws this thing through the window, and I remember really well when I was at Subway when I was a little kid. This crazy guy came in there, and like something was about the sub, and he was really unhappy, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna throw a brick through the window. And I remember we went to the Subway like a week later, and the window was broken. So the guy threw a brick through the window. So I don't know, that made me remember that. But basically, though, he ends up, the father goes outside and goes out there to see what's going on, and he ends up getting killed. And it ends up being, basically the father ends up getting killed, and then, you know, he's getting talked to, Elijah Wood's character is getting talked to by a child therapist, and Patrick, you know, and why am I blanking on the name? You know, I was just Tom Skerritt's character, and basically Tom Skerritt's character comes in and starts to investigate and figure out what had happened and everything. But it was a really cool movie. This one has a brand new restored in 2K from 35mm interpositive. It also has an audio essay on here by film historian Amanda Reyes. And the last one in here, this one was from 1978. And this is, I think this is probably the most known of the ones. And this is one here called Are You in the House Alone? And this one here has on here newly restored in 2K from 0.35mm and interpositive, creating the musical themes, an interview with the composer, Charles Bernstein, Charles Bernstein's music is amazing. Like, I love his music in April Fool's Day. And he's done music in lots of stuff, but that's one of the ones I always think of. And it also has an audio essay by film historian Amanda Reyes on this one. And the other one here that I want to let you guys know that was available from Vinegar Syndrome as well. And this is one here called, you know, Alien from L.A. And this one, this is a fun movie. This was from 1988. And this is basically about this girl whose father had gone missing, and you know, basically she ends up trying to find him and goes into this hole, falls in this hole in the ground, and it's like this underground city and stuff like that she comes across. It's a really, really fun movie. It's like some weird stuff. It's like they made a lot of kind of movies like this, you know, in the 80s, like when people get transported to weird cities and other dimensions and all these kind of weird, wacky characters. And I always like that kind of stuff, like those weird kind of people and like getting into weird dimensions and stuff like that. And with quirky kind of vibes. And this one has on here newly restored in 2K from its original 35mm interpositive. It has Making a Fairy Tale, an interview on here with the director. It has on here, though, an interview with actor Tom Matthews. Tom Matthews, you know, of course, was in Return of the Living Dead. And then it has an audio interview on here with Linda Carriage. And it also has reversible artwork on here. And this is the reversible artwork on this one here. So you guys can see that one as well. And the next one I got here is from Mill Creek, and this is a double feature of two of like my top favorite like childhood films growing up. Like, I watched these movies like so much. I remember watching the first one. I remember on the VHS tape it says, "Oh, everyone, don't, you know, this is Junior Healy. Make sure you go to the theaters this summer and see Problem Child 2 in theaters." Like, I remember that. It was only on the, I don't know if they put that on the DVD when it came out. I'm pretty sure they removed that, but it was only on the VHS. I always remember that really well. Like, when the movie ends, it goes like to the credits, and then Junior Healy comes on and tells everyone, "Don't forget, Prom Child 2 is coming soon." But this is a double feature here of Prom Child and Prom Child 2. Like I said, these are two of my absolute favorite movies of all time. I've watched these movies so many times. Like, it is like insane. And this is basically, if you guys have never seen these movies, it's like, honestly, just go and watch these movies. They're hilarious. It's all my kind of humor. And exactly, like, if you guys want to know what my humor is, like ridiculous slapstick stuff and like over-the-top ridiculousness, these movies have all of it, and like weird characters and everything. Especially like in the second one, there's some really weird people in that one. But it's basically, though, if you guys have never seen it, it's basically about the character of Junior Healy, and he's this kid who was an orphan. In the beginning of the movie, you see him kind of taken around to orphanage because but basically everyone's trying to get rid of him. They like drop him off at someone's house and trying to get rid of him. And he's kind of getting passed around, and then he gets the orphanage and no one adopts him, so he's there for years. He's kind of the bad kid causing all these problems, and he's having like causing the nuns all these problems because he's at the orphanage with all these nuns. He's like giving the nuns all kinds of grief, and they're like, the nuns are like slipping on buckets of water and all. It's like so ridiculous. But then he ends up finally getting adopted by John Ritter's character and his wife, by Amy Aspect. And it's basically, though, right when he's taken out too, they like regret the decision because of how he acts. But John Ritter's character really wants to, give him the, try and help this kid because he feels bad for him and everything. But it's like it just keeps going worse and worse. And the second one was Junior Healy's character and his father moving to a new town and going to this new school, and then this one, Lorraine Newman's character tries to get with John Ritter and everything, and like it's ridiculous. There's all kind of crazy stuff in it. There's way more of the Jack Ward, Jack Warden, who was the grandfather character in the film. He's in way more of the sequel, which I really like because I love that character in the first movie. But like I said, if you've never seen these movies, 100% must watch. You guys have got to watch them. The next one here is from Mill Creek as well, and this is also a double feature set. And this one has in here 2 different films. This has Toy Soldiers, so a movie with Sean Astin, which was a really cool movie though, about like from 91, about things going basically like the school gets taken over and stuff like that. And it has Will Wheaton in there, Andrew Divoff is in here, Keith Coogan, really great cast in this one. Keith Coogan, who was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and then it also has the movie on here, December. Like I said, this is a double feature which has Toy Soldiers and December here. And the next one I got here is from Mill Creek as well, and this is one that I just want to let you guys know is available. This is an Ultraman collection here, which has the Ultraman series and movie combo Blu-ray. And this one has in here though Ultraman, Ultra Galaxy, Mega Monster Battle. This has Ultraman, Ultra Galaxy, Mega Monster Battle, Never Ending Odyssey, and Ultraman, Mega Monster Battle, Ultra Galaxy the movie in this one here. And I'll show you guys though a look inside at this one here. Here's the artwork on the side and everything. And in here though, it's this has the Ultraman Mega Monster Galaxy Disc 1, which has episodes 1 to 6, and then it has Disc 2, which has episodes 7 through 13. Then it has the Never Ending Odyssey episodes 1 to 6, and then episodes 7 through 13, and then the movie here as well. And the next 2 here, these are both from Gravitas Ventures, and this one here is one called No Knock List. And this is basically though, this is pretty much though about these these guys that end up like these criminals and everything that end up, breaking out of prison. And it's kind of like has like a Don't Breathe kind of vibe. One of those kind of things about people like breaking into a house that they shouldn't go into and everything like that. And they get in there and it's like a nightmare situation. They find themselves like trapped in there. And it's one of those kind of things about these guys, going and, planning to rob this place. And they end up, getting into the house and everything. But basically they come to realize though that the owners of this place are really, really strange. And there's something really up with them. So it's one of those things where, they got out of prison, but now they've gotten into this whole other nightmare situation here. Like I said, this one here is called the No Knock List. The other one here from Gravitas Ventures as well is one called Cult Following. And this has a cool look to looks like kind of like an old tarot card kind of thing to the look. And this is basically though about these guys who want to do this documentary on this cult. They're kind of guys that are working on these documentaries and really trying to get this, they want to do something interesting and different that no one has kind of shown, and they want to kind of investigate this weird cult. And it's kind of it's one of those things though, they're going to go and talk to this cult and it's not going to be a good situation. So they go in there and into this really weird situation with this cult, and really weird things start to happen. It's like they're really regretting, they're getting interesting stuff on the footage, but they're really regretting what they're doing here, getting into this situation and everything, because it's not going to be good. But it's a really, really interesting movie here. Like I said, this one here is called Cult Following. And the last one here, this is from, from Kino Lorber and Virgil Films. And this is an anthology horror film called Scare Us. And this one was pretty cool. Was it in a movie? I can't remember where it was set. No, it was set in a bookstore. And it was someone was coming into the bookstore, and then it was these different stories and everything like that. But there were some really, really cool, stories in here. Because the one thing when it comes to anthology horror films, sometimes there's some that are really, really great, and then there's one that wasn't good at all, or sometimes it's like that, and then you go, oh, there's a really, really good one. Or sometimes in the anthology horror films, the first story they show you is the best one, and then the other ones are not as good. And sometimes I've noticed that on some the real indie ones and everything. But this one though was very consistent. I thought all the stories on this one were really, really cool. Like I said, this one here is called Scare Us, a horror anthology. Anyway though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. Like I always say, if you guys enjoyed these videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.